Okay, so Diana, would you mind if I make you a co-host so that as people come in, you'll be able to sort of just let them in and it doesn't kind of interrupt my sort of train of thought, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
sure, no
always so,
problem.
thank you so much. Otherwise, it's like, oh, where's the button? And you're like mid-sentence and then you're all thrown off, right? Okay, so here we go. So this week, this is continuing ed, as you guys know. I'm so excited about it because this is the one I get to teach, and I love it when I get to teach, and I love it when I get to hang out with you guys and be like able to communicate and just share ideas. So if you, obviously this is a small class. Our continuing ed classes are always nice and intimate, which I love. So feel free to interrupt me at any time. You can pop it in the chat. I am able to see that. Or just interrupt me, just pop off and say, hey, Carrie, what's up with this? What's up with that, right? So this week we're talking about oils for every age. And the way I like to think about this is pretty much like if I ordered, let's say, one of the kits that has like the top 10 oils in it, right? Or the basics, right? The fundamentals. Is it going to be just for me? Or how am I going to use this for everyone in my household? And maybe you have a single person household, but you're still going to figure out and hear about things that can help friends or help others. Or maybe when it comes up in your life, you'll be like, oh, wait a minute, I think I know I have a solution for that, right? We're all pretty familiar already with, let me turn this down a little bit. It's annoying me, the air in here. We're all pretty familiar with like how to help a headache, right? Digestion for an upset tummy, deep blue when your muscle. So those basics, right? We've kind of covered those. Romelia did an amazing job with our supplements class. So we've got the foundation for that going on. And I can say all this luckily because you girls have, or you ladies, excuse me, have been here for those. Like we're actually in sequential order. So that's always a nice thing. But now we're going to learn just a little bit outside the box on some ways that you can use your oils. So here we go. Let me move some of my little dealy bobs here for you guys. So this is all about whole family wellness in one toolbox. I like to think of my oils and my oil collection, if you will, as sort of my little pharmacy. I know that's nerdy, but hey, that's how I think of it. Or a little toolbox, a place where I can go and get and retrieve or make the tools that I need to support my family. We're going to talk about things all the way from pregnancy straight on through to what I love this, the glory years, right? I don't know, am I an adult? Am I transition? I don't know. Maybe you never know that you're in the glory years, just other people know you're in the glory years. Or the transition. I'm going to say I'm an adult. I'm just going with adulthood, right? Okay, so how come we know that we can use our oils from pregnancy, right? Newborns, small children, as well as, your 300-pound uncle who's, firmly 35 and basically a linebacker, right? Or your senior, fragile, ailing, grandmother. It's because of purity. And this is just a small portion of the testing that is done at doTERRA. And it really does kind of, it's alarming that we have to go through so much testing just to make sure that everything is pure. But in this day and age with adulteration as sort of the accepted norm, we do. All right. Now, this is also why hospitals use doTERRA specifically, not just any essential oils, is because of the fact that that testing level is at such a high level that they know that they're not giving their patients or even putting into the air something that isn't proven to be pure or has something else that someone could be having a reaction to. One of my least favorite, although I find it to be the most impactful example, is that the FDA, which we all know, very familiar with, especially these days, only requires that 3% of your bottle of oil have an essential oil in it that is pure in order to label it 100% pure. Okay, 3%. So when I was very upset, I love my co-op. I am a member. I love it. I shop there almost exclusive there. And that's where I go, right? I was very disheartened to find that the essential oils that are on the shelf at my co-op are not 100% pure. Now, but wait a minute, in the ingredients list, it says just lavender oil. So isn't that 100% pure? Well, here's how you can tell. Lavender is not a toxic substance. Obviously, you don't drink the entire bottle. Anything in that quantity would be problematic. However, if it says on it, do not use on skin, do not take internally, then you know that it probably has in it some form of preservative or additive, or oftentimes just a chemically created filler, right, to really enhance what we believe our noses know to be lavender. All right. It is just part of the industry. Essential oils have sat in this strange portion of the industry where we kind of dip into perfumes as well as, of course, as we know them. And so for a lot of people, it's no big deal. What does it matter if you can't? Why would you drink your perfume, right? So of course you can have additives and so on and so forth. But more importantly, the perfume industry does not have to label their ingredients because it's considered proprietary. And so they don't have to list anything but lavender. It's not that they're lying, they don't have to. So that's a really big deal and really a big differentiator between our oils and the oils that I can get at my co-op, unfortunately. This is also the main reason why we can safely use essential oils with our pets and our younger children and our seniors. It's because we don't have all of these other things that actually are the problems, which are those additives and preservatives, right? So keep that in mind. Anything that we're talking about in any of our classes is very specific to doTERRA essential oils. If you go online and you look up, can I use, whatever with my newborn or with my cat or whatever, it's going to be like, don't do it. Oh my God. Yeah, don't do that with oils that you're buying anywhere else, as far as unless you can prove the testing. doTERRA is awesome with our testing. If you would like to find out the test results of your bottle, that Immortelle that you got, Beverly, right? Look on the bottom of the bottle. Find any of your oils, look on the bottom, and there's going to be a number on there. You go to a website called source2u, it's all spelled out, .com, and you input that number in the upper right hand corner and you will get your test results. Our transparency is the best. I just love it. That's where I feel like, okay, you're showing me everything here. I got it. I can feel confident that what I'm really using here is pure lavender oil, which, by the way, if anyone ever says don't use lavender oil on their skin, run, because that's the number one use for lavender oil is to support skin health and has been throughout history. So check out all of the testing. And play around on that website too, guys. It's absolutely phenomenal. So tools for everyone. This includes people who aren't interested in taking their oils internally. And you know what? I get it. We all have our different comfort zones of what we want to do, how we want to do it. We have different members of our family. In my family, I have people who definitely prefer a roller ball over people who prefer diffusers, right? And all of us are pretty keen. Well, I shouldn't say all of us. I bet my oldest one's probably not keen on internal use, right? And so, or he's less keen than the rest of us. So, what I like is that, okay, maybe I have the lavender oil for one reason, or whatever oil we're talking about. I can support someone else in my family who maybe doesn't want it on their skin. I can support them with lavender oil aromatically. It's not going to have the same benefits. Topical is for skin support specifically. Aromatically is going to be a little bit more of an emotional support, but I can still use that oil to support them. All right. The other thing I want you to note here is at the bottom of this list, it says an open collection. It's really, really important if you are living in a household with others and you want your family to adopt a new sort of non-toxic, wellness-focused lifestyle, that you make your oils available to others in your household. You don't want to be the gatekeeper of the oils, okay? I know that it's like, oh my God, no, there's no way I'm letting my kids near these, right? That's fine. Maybe make some smaller portions, like little 5 mils or something, or even you can get smaller ones that are available to the entire family, as well as the book. And here's why. It's hard to think of the ways that other people need to use the oils. Like, for instance, if you just got, I'm going to keep using that lavender as an example, apparently. If you got lavender for yourself for just like supporting your emotions, right? That's great. But guess what? You're going to kind of get locked into, that's how I use lavender. You're going to kind of get yourself into this mindset that that's the way to use it. And you're not going to notice that it's actually one of the greatest things you can ever do for your skin, right? You're not going to notice that it's actually the best, for allergies that you can possibly find. So have the book there so that other people, including yourself, can look up different ailments and go, oh, this is my issue. I'm going to use this, this, and this, right? With small kids, obviously use judgment. We all know what our families are doing. As far as like if you think anyone's going to drink it and be crazy or something like that, then of course, I'm not saying that. But you really do want this to be sort of the new way that the family treats issues in the household, and start easy and move on, right? You're not, some of us can come in with a bulldozer and push everything out the door. Others might have to just say, hey, this is what we're using now instead of ibuprofen, or this is what we're using now for our skincare, or we're using this just to have our house smell good without toxic, cleaners or toxic, perfumey things that you plug in or melt or whatever. I don't even know, right? So start somewhere and slowly expand that, and you'll be surprised at how easily, especially once someone has a success with an oil, how easily they will start to adopt it too. All right. People want to feel the same empowerment that you want to feel, right? They want to feel like, I got some tools. If they feel like they've got to go through you every time, there's like this wall of intimidation, or maybe it's just easier to go to the medicine cabinet and grab the ibuprofen, right? Make it just as easy to use your oils. All right, so let's talk about pregnancy. I don't know if anyone here is still in this stage. I do have to say the weirdest thing happened last night. Both my husband and I dreamt that I was pregnant last night, which is very weird because I'm 50 years old, I know, and I'm fixed, if you will. So I don't know how that was happening, but we both had the exact same dream in the morning hours, like, those crazy vivid dreams. Anyhow, not pregnant. No. But I just thought that was wild. So I know Diana's dying over there. Could you imagine? Oh, my heavens. Oh, heavens. Anyhow, so the ways that we can use our oils and our supplements and everything with pregnancy, I'm going to give you just kind of like a little quick tips here. Feel free to take pictures of anything. Feel free to ask questions, like I said. So you really want to support healthy cellular function for obvious reasons. Your body is very busy building cells, right? Your body is helping to support a whole another body, right? Another body, another person. And a lot of times what happens in pregnancy, I know that I am someone who's definitely been through this. Our body will actually give up its own resources to support the baby. Okay, great. I'm down for that, right? Let's give the baby everything the baby needs. But mom needs it too. And eventually mom will run out if she's not reinforcing that. Now, obviously, we're all familiar with prenatal vitamins. Fantastic. I will say though, it's a one a day thing. And you're kind of bombarding your system as well as baby's system with this rush of nutrients, which, let's do that instead of nothing by all means. But I would ask, go ahead and take in, we have a wonderful PDF that you can print off that has all of the information about the supplements that we use, like the LLV, Lifelong Vitality, that will take it into your obstetrician or your midwife or whomever it is, or yourself, just sit there and look and compare. And I think you'll be shocked. And the big difference here is that you're going to have more bioavailability, and it's spread out throughout the day. So baby and mom are getting continuous resources, right? Instead of a bombardment where a lot of it passes through, or it can even be challenging on our kidneys and so forth. So Allah saying, my dad is really easily allergic to things, but I've diffused around him and he's fine. Exactly, right? It's just like, Susan. Yeah, exactly. So find the way that works for the people in your family and go that route, right? I love that we have like all these doorways that we can access to support our family. Just find the doorway that works for them and go through that doorway. And you might, maybe eventually they'll be interested in one of the other doors. It's nice that way. Susan's killing me with the considering our matching family. I'm a little concerned. Yeah, you should be scared. Be very, very afraid. No, unless if you dreamt last night that you were pregnant, then there was really an issue going on, right? Oh gosh. So, so sensitivity to scent is very common. If you are, pregnant and into your pregnancy, you're going to notice that you're super sensitive. Like, I mean, it's the weirdest things. Like you smell stuff. It's just crazy how your nose goes nuts, which makes sense because it's an important aspect to protecting ourselves, right? Is to have things that we're kind of turned on by and things that we're definitely turned off by, that our body's like, no, we want to avoid that. So if you've been someone who you're a big fan of geranium, and then you're pregnant and all of a sudden the smell of geranium just makes you want to die, just stop using geranium. After the pregnancy, you'll probably fall in love with it again. Okay. It just works out that way. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You can do it. Also, this is a little note in here. If you're giving oils to someone who's pregnant as like a baby shower gift, maybe instead of just the specifics, maybe get you're really enjoying, I'll order for you. That way you know that they're going to like the ones that you get, right? It says that my internet is unstable. So if I have issues, I'm going to have Diana wave at me or something. It should be, it should be solid. Just send in the water, amazing. Ginger is heavenly. All of these tools. So I can't wait till, I mean, I can wait, but when my kids start having kids, right? I'm so excited to have all these tools to support them and be like, oh no, you don't have to go through what I went through. I have tools to support you. Hemorrhoids, okay? Dilute some frankincense, spearmint, and tea tree into a spray bottle. If you don't have spearmint, you just have the top 10 oils, don't worry about it, delete it out of there. Into a spray bottle with some water and spray, very, very supportive. Breastfeeding, okay? Copaiba under mama's tongue is really, really helpful for just releasing stress and anxiety, calming the body, but it also in that process helps to release the milk, all right? Helps you, you know how that is, if you're all, you get that moment if you've ever breastfed before where you just need it to release. There's a certain amount of you that has to be calm in order for that to happen, all right? And baby is tuning into that too. They're probably clamping, doing all the things wrong because boy, they feed right off of your energy through that time, which is beautiful, but also sometimes can feed off of each other the wrong way, right? If you're noticing that the baby is having a lot of gas or issues with maybe food that you're eating, I would say, first off, keep a log of what you're eating so that you're really aware of what's going on there, and you can speak to whomever you're working with on, you know, your health and so forth through your pregnancy with that. But also try Terrazyme. It says on here Terrazyme for baby, but that's going to be via mom's milk. So you're going to take Terrazyme, and that's going to help foods break down so that they are more digestible. And it's also going to help your milk, and it's going to help baby's tummy. So lavender and fractionated coconut oil on mama for tender nipples. Oh my goodness, if only I had such a thing, right? But now you want to do this right after feeding so that it has time to sort of air out, if you will, you know, flash off before the next feeding. Very soothing. You know, if you've ever, you know, babies in growing spurts, boy, oh boy, sometimes you're just like, oh my God, oh my God. So also a little milk, just take a little bit of that milk and rub that on as well. That's very healing for your nipples. Delivery support. Work with your favorite oils. Do not introduce new oils in the delivery room. I mean, you can maybe give it a whirl, but usually people want to work with what they know is calming and soothing and opening and all of the things you want to be in that room at the time. And then obviously, if you're using any oils, bring in those test results of purity. Bring in your book, your Modern Essentials handbook, or whatever it is that you're using that shows that this is safe and appropriate to your health professional, whomever that is, so that they're not just thinking that you're going to Walmart and buying some perfumes and using them on yourself or your baby. Because guess what? Unless you show them that you know what you're doing, or at least that you have the right tools and you would like their advice about what you're doing, they're going to assume that you're using that other stuff and they're going to say no. And that is right for them to do so, right? So that's important. Be responsible. You're, you know, you're stepping into a world of being a more of an active player in your health and wellness, right? And so with that comes being able to bring in the support, right? Bring in the book, bring in the research, bring in the testing, and feel good about it, right? Sometimes the first time's intimidating. Usually they're like, wow, okay. And they'll be asking you questions, especially when you come in the next time with the problem solved, right? And they're like, oh, so what were you doing again? I want to share that with my other people. So newborn little guys, right? So of course, nursing, mom is getting the supplements, right? Care for skin without toxins. So much of the new mother industry is all about, like, you know, sort of creating the concept that you're going to be a great mother if you use this product. And the way that they do that is they undermine your confidence in anything else besides that product, right? So if you want your baby to have clear skin or healthy skin or a good bum or whatever, you have to use this, because if you don't use this, then obviously, you know, you're not doing it right. So it's kind of like this weird industry, the way the marketing works around mother's confidence. So we want to kind of soothe that and calm that, right? Babies don't need a lot. They really just don't need a lot. And a lot of times what happens is when we use so much that we're then trying to undo things that we've kind of caused because we're putting all this stuff on their skin and on their bodies. I would say just try to stay as non-toxic as possible. Everything that I use or would use today would be like the baby line, you know, that I don't want to have to do the research every other day. Okay. You're tired, you're nursing, you have how many kids? They change ingredients all the time in the industry, and you have to be diligent about it, right? I don't want to have to do that. I want to just be able to go on, order it, it comes. And if they're going to change an ingredient, guess what? We all get notified via email. Hey, we changed an ingredient. Here's what's happening. All right. So really, really nice to have that kind of just don't have to worry about it. One less thing to worry about, right? I like to make a lot of stuff too with my oils, and then I don't even have to worry about, you know, should this cream or that or whatever's going on. Using diffusion with your babies is amazing. Obviously, you're not going to set the diffuser like up against baby, right? But having it in the room, keeping it going, having some lavender, frankincense, things that are very simple ingredient, I think is where I would begin. So in other words, these single ingredient oils in earlier days, making sure that the room is ventilated nicely. Tummy troubles, holy crap, did I have kids with tummy troubles and issues with all of that area, right? My first one was a nightmare. And then ever since then, each one has certainly gone through their period of time where their tummies were just either gassy or colicky or constipated or something, right? Oh, to have had digestion then. So guys, the best thing is the Touch collection, which you'll see lower on my list here. This is the top 10 oils already diluted to a safety level for infants and children. All right. Newborn, I would say go a little slower, maybe a little bit on your hands, diluted, and then rub on baby's feet. Okay. But when you're, you know, you're getting in, you know, once you're past like the 3-4 month mark, that Touch collection is incredible. You can make your own of the Touch collection with your top 10 oils by just diluting them down. But I love that one. It's just because it's already ready to go. And you, like I said before, like easy is king when you've got newborns in the house. Immunity support. This is going to be through mom and through diffusion of On Guard. So mom using her oils, mom using her supplements, mom using, you know, her tools is where you're going to get the best version of that immunity support. If you are not nursing, then you're going to want to use things like the On Guard in the diffuser in the home, having people in the home washing their hands with the On Guard soap, using the On Guard hand sanitizer. And then again, that little bit of the dilution on the bottoms of on your hands, so you're going to do a lot of dilution, in other words the touch of the On Guard, rub it on your hands, rub your hands together, so you're releasing a lot of that first shock, and then just massage the bottoms of baby's feet. Okay. Curating a toxin-free environment, I think we all know how important that is. And by the way, next week is the whole class on how to do that top to bottom, right? I think the number one area here, besides the air quality in your home, is going to be cleaning the house and the laundry. What, honey? I know, honey, I want to go, but it's really hot in here. It's my son. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to talk. Anyway, so you want the laundry, I think, is a really big important one, because that's what you're wrapping, you know, baby in all the time. Their skin is very sensitive, very absorbent, you know, so the less is more on this is key. Okay. Touch collection we already talked about, and again, communicating with your pediatrician or whomever, maybe you're using your midwife still through this part of baby's care or whatever, I don't know, whatever you're doing, make sure you're communicating. If you're not, if you're going doctor free and all across the board, keep a list of everything that you are using with baby, especially when you introduce something new. That way, if you have any type of issue, you know what you can explain that to whomever it is that you're working with after the fact. Okay, little monkeys, right? Our little monkeys need some supplements too, especially our picky eaters. I definitely have had those in my time. A to Z chewables are incredible. The kids love them. They gobble them up. They are perfect as a tool to get that habit of supplementation and to keep them on, you know, from this up and down, up and down, up and down, especially children, because they're in growth spurts. They need nutrients to grow. They need it for their brains. They need it for their bodies, for their organs. And then what happens is if they're not getting enough nutrition, they can be more susceptible to illnesses and so on and so forth, because they're just weaker, right? So you really, especially those picky eaters, okay? The ones that are really like narrowed it down to like dry cereal or chicken nuggets only or whatever, you know, we're all familiar, I'm sure, with those super picky ones. We want to keep a good eye on that. The IQ Mega, I think, is amazing for children and all the way through, because this is all about brain health as far as I'm concerned. This is helping to balance those omegas so that you are keeping the right ratio of good with the things that are more taxing on us. So really, really important. Immunity support, again, here's your On Guard, diffusion and balance of feet. Now, you're going to notice we're using the same things with everyone in the household here, right? Tummies, DigestZen, topically and through diffusion. I love DigestZen in the belly button. Once they're over a certain age, I would say at least 3 months or so, diluted on a roller ball. I would use that in the belly button area. Obviously, you know, you want to wait, because belly buttons, when they're new, you don't want to be putting oils over there. But it is immediate how soothing that is for them. Diffusion is great too. If they are car sick little guys, get a car diffuser, life changer, I'm telling you. So the Touch collection and the Kids collection are wonderful for starting to teach your kids about the power of listening to their bodies. All right. A lot of us as adults, this is a new concept because we weren't taught this when we were children. It wasn't really a part of the culture then. Everything had to come from the outside in order for it to be right. We weren't really the ones with the voice to say what our needs were. We can teach our kids that today. We can, even if they're not reading yet. The Kids collection, I love it because every lid is color coded. So I've seen 2-year-olds just like, I need the purple because this is what I need right now, and rub it on because that's what they know they need. It's amazing. They can take them to school. They can have them with them to reinforce whatever issue they're having. If their throat feels a little tickled, they can use the On Guard. If they're feeling a little scared, or they're nervous about something at school, or they're feeling a little intimidated, they've got their Brave. They're ready to go. Their tummy's upset, they've got their Tamer. They rub that on. They will learn about what it means to listen to their body and have a solution on hand. It's incredible the difference I see in my oldest kids and my youngest kids my younger ones have had the benefit of growing up with doTERRA in the home for the past now 4 years, right? It's incredible. My daughter was probably 5 when we started, 6. She just knows exactly what she needs when she needs it. I wears this, mom, that's what I get, instead of what do I need to do, which I love. Emotional support through the roller balls and diffusion, obviously, right? So important. That non-toxic environment, again. I love this. This is a really great point that Romelia made in one of her previous classes, and that is that dilution is really important with young children because they're not just like mini versions of us. So like you might have an adult friend, for instance, my 11-year-old daughter, she's newly 11, is like 5'7", okay? She's way taller and bigger than almost any other 11-year-old I've ever met. But her body and its developmental stage is still that of someone who needs the dilution, okay? She still needs that in her life because her body, the way it's processing through everything, just because she's taller and bigger doesn't mean her body can handle more. It doesn't really work that way. With some things, yes, obviously, she eats as much as a bigger person, but in this case, take it slow and then you can ramp up a little bit. Don't bombard them with things that you're using just on yourself without starting with dilution, and then you can work your way up a little bit, find where they're comfortable, and you're good to go. And again, always letting your health professional know what you're using, especially if they're open to things. Yeah, I'll just leave that there. So our teens and young adults, this is where we can really get people started. If they're over 110 pounds, they can start on the full size supplements. In other words, the like adult version of the Lifelong Vitality. And you can even start younger than that or in size of that. This is supplements note, okay, not the oils. You still want to dilute with the others when they're younger. But with the supplements, they can do a half dose, all right? I've had my adult children still take the A to Z because they weren't people who were great at swallowing pills. And that's fine. We just doubled the dose. So keep that in mind when you're using your supplements. Supplements can be the answer to so many issues through the teenage years, okay? Emotional roller coaster life, hormone fluctuations, stress, anxiety, sleep issues, skin issues, toxicity issues. So much can be supported through the Lifelong Vitality with our teens. I love, love, love that I now have this tool for my two youngers. They're 11 and 13 now. I can't believe those are my littles, but they are. And I love that they can have these tools, because I do see a difference with what they are going through, and how the ship is kind of more of an even keel for them, especially with regards to their skin. So supporting digestion, topically diffusing, and now notice we're introducing internal use too. Put it in some water, especially if you're someone who, like I know a lot of young girls when they first start getting their cycle, will get really nauseous. So one drop of digestion in a nice tall glass of water, shake it, in a glass water bottle and drink it. Oh, heaven. It's just so supportive. Give them now as a time for them to have their own set of oils. All right, their own access, some that they keep in their room by their bedside. Maybe they make their own roller balls that they use. I love Romelia's daughter Sarah has the Sarah blend that has like 1,000 different oils in it, but it is her key oil. And let me tell you, she goes for that oil all the time, and it really does support her. There's something about the power of having that solution in hand that goes a long, long way. And again, they can take it with them to school, when you travel, everywhere, right? Emotional support, same thing. Academic focus, or academics and focus, is huge. Studying with things like rosemary going in the diffuser to help with memory, calming through exam time, getting rid of anxiety and stress, helping with adaptive. These are all huge. I use them all the time. My kids use them all the time. We're driving home and I'm like, you know what? When we were traveling, I didn't have enough adaptive with me to I had to put the mask on mom first before passing it to the children type situation. But as soon as we get home, Oscar's going back on adaptive, because I can see that it was so helpful for him. What a wonderful tool, especially for kids who have any type of developmental issues that can be that exacerbate things like anxiety, right? Or that manifest in a way that it's causing anxiety because of the other things that they're struggling with, right? Huge, huge, wonderful tool. Diffuse, if they're not down, diffuse it in the house. They won't even know. They'll just think you're making the house smell good. It's wonderful. You can sneaky dose them. Skin and personal care without toxins. You don't want to strip. This is my number one tip on teen skin. The last thing you want to do is strip the skin of its natural oils, because then it starts to overproduce those natural oils, and you end up with a massive problem that is very hard to reset. So start by using, I love our HD Clear. It is wonderful because it is not a soap. It does not strip the skin of the nutrients that it needs, of the oils that it needs. It does clean it, stops bacteria, helps to get rid of excess, but it doesn't strip it away. I think we're all familiar with the little pads, and you would do them on your face and it would just strip your skin away, all of the oil from your skin, and then you'd break out like crazy. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Again, with the non-toxic household, and talking and communicating with your health professionals. So now let's visit our adults, okay? You want to be the example in your household, and this is huge. You really do. You want to, if you're telling them to use, what we call the morphine bomb, right? That's our lemongrass, marjoram, frankincense. I'm saying I'll be right there. Sorry, Manny. If you want them to start using that for pain, then you've got to also be using that. So if you're grabbing ibuprofen for yourself, why are they going to stop using? We all know ibuprofen's so easy. You take it, it works, right? It's so easy. And it works really quick. So does your marjoram, lemongrass, and frankincense. But the thing is that you might have to make the pill, right? There's one extra step. So you want to be sure that you are being the example that this works, and I'm adopting it in my life. I know people who have adopted oils into their lifestyle in their household, and their loved ones took over a year plus before they started using it. And it is usually because something wasn't working. In fact, Susan's in here. I know her dad just thought she was a Fruit Loop, the way my dad did, right? My dad was the same way, but he had a health issue that she was able to bring him support for, and it worked. And then it was like, oh, okay, I get it. For my dad, it was the same thing. He thought I was crazy with these oils. I was using them for almost a year. He came out to visit us, and he had a bad cold from the airplane. I just put Breathe in the diffuser, and that was a moment for him. He really was like, okay, I've been taking all this cough syrup. I've been taking all this cold medicine. He's sitting there drinking it. Nothing's working. but I'm going to walk around with this diffuser in front of my face because this is making it all go away and I feel good. And it was like, that's what I've been trying to tell you. So don't worry if you're the only one for a long time. It'll take a little time, but if you are being the example and people see that you're doing well, you're thriving, you're not getting sick, you know, or if you are, you're bouncing right back. Your skin looks great, your hair looks great, your nails are growing, you know, all of these vibrancy, you know, these wellness, people are eventually going to go, okay, what is it you're doing? Come on, hook me up here. I know I thought you were nuts, but I want to know what's going on. Really, really important. The immune support, you know, taking your supplements is all part of this key too. That lifelong vitality goes throughout all of our lives, right? The immune support with our On Guard and our diffusers, really, really important. Bottoms of feet, internal use, right? I love On Guard internally. If I get even the tickle in my throat, I think now the first thing, I mean, I'll do Flume, but even before I make the Flume, I'll take the On Guard and just throw one drop down the back of my throat. It's gone, and then I make my Flume, take my Flume. Flume, by the way, is frankincense, lemon, oregano, On Guard, and melaleuca. Melaleuca being tea tree oil in equal parts, usually 4 drops of each, in a veggie cap. Take it as soon as you start to feel a little bit sick, knocks it right out. So then emotional support or digestive support, again, DigestScent. So everyone in the family is getting this great support. I've even used DigestScent in the diffuser to help my dogs, okay? I've even used it, we've used it with our goats. It's one of the first oils that we got for our goats to help them with their digestion, and it's part of a natural dewormer regimen that you do. Don't worry, you know, it's not, that sounds terrible. Like, yeah, use a goat dewormer. I promise you it's not that. But well, you know what I mean? It just sounds a little weird, but it really does work. It's safe with your animals. We put a drop every now and again in our chickens' water, in our dogs' water, just to help them out, especially if you notice them like starting to eat, like dogs like starting to eat a lot of grass or something. They're trying to work a little something out in their tummies. Cats will do the same thing sometimes too. But for dogs, you can put like one little drop or half a drop in their water. I know half a drop sounds funny, but you can like use, you can go smaller, right? Put it on your finger, stir it around. And it helps them so much. It's fantastic. So again, emotional support with our roller balls and diffusion, focus with our oils, all of these things, right? Skin and personal care, non-toxic environment, and working with your health professional. Now, in this one here with working with your health professional, I do want to also note that, like, if you have a chronic illness or an issue, right, and you're starting to adopt oils into your lifestyle, work with your wellness advocate and your health professional to get a good rhythm going. You do want to be sure that if you're on any lifelong, you know, medications, that there are no issues there with, you know, contraindication. Reach out to us and we can help get you the research and the information that shows whether or not there is a question regarding your medication and the oils, especially if you're using them internally. And so we are happy to work with you on that. That is our job. That's something that, you know, we have a book that we can look it up in, and we can give you the name of the book and who wrote it so that you have that information for yourself as well. And you can certainly order one for yourself too. It's not information that's not available or held from you. So note that. And even if you are if you're going through something that is a big change in your health or wellness pattern, know that you can reach out to us and we are absolutely here to help you with that. This goes for anyone in your household too. If you have a question for your mom or your dad or your kid or your dog or your goat, reach out. And if I can't answer it, or Diana or Susan can't answer it, or Romelia, we will find the person on our team or even in a crossline team who can get you that information. Okay, so know that you have that other depth of resource that can be more specific to your exact issues, right? I love that. A book is great, but sometimes you just need to talk through the exact issues, and having someone else work with you on that can be really, really helpful. Golden years, right? Did I miss transitional years? I guess we transitioned. Now we're golden. So dilution becomes important again, because guess what happens in our senior years? Our skin gets really, really sensitive. Our systems get a little bit more sensitive again. I think that we've all heard like, oh, I can't eat garlic anymore. My body won't take it. Or, you know, oh, I can't, you know, the skin is, you know, so thin and so soft. And yeah, you want to kind of start focusing on dilution again through these years, especially the latter part. I don't know when you consider golden years as starting, but I'm going to, for the sake of this conversation, I'm going 75. Okay. So I feel like that feels golden to me. 75. Let's go with that. So yeah, you're going to want to be more aware of this. Supplements, hugely important here. hugely important. Gosh golly, I'm so excited that I started my supplements at 46, and I will get to have had them throughout my latter years, because I never took supplements before doTERRA, with the exception of during my pregnancies. And the difference in my brain, the difference in my health, the difference in my mobility is obvious. So I'm very excited. I feel like I actually have changed gears from where I was heading before I started taking my supplements to a whole different track that I'm on now. And I'm just so thankful to have found that when I did. Do I wish I found it earlier? Yes. So Ala, you're golden over there, right? Beverly, I can't see you, so I don't know how old you are, but nonetheless, be glad you found it when you did. Immunity support, another one, right? Respiratory support is huge in the senior years. We really want to keep our lungs good and healthy and strong. This is going to require a massive reduction in any toxins in our air environment. We want to have our lungs ready to go. So keeping our immune system really strong, that lifelong vitality is going to do that. The On Guard is going to do that. Melaleuca is going to do that, meaning tea tree oil. We have our oregano. We have all of those tools to make that happen in our lives. The important thing is to keep ourselves strong, because a lot of times what happens in our senior years is we might get sick with one thing, like fall and break something, but that being sedentary will lead to other issues. And oftentimes respiratory health issues are what become the real big problem. So you want to be at the greatest level of strength you can be at. So being focused on immunity before you're sick. Focusing on immunity doesn't mean wait until you're sick and then fix it. Focusing on immunity means not getting sick. Okay. Are you going to every once in a while? Probably. But if you're really good about that, staying with a routine, keeping your supplements going, using your On Guard, you'll be shocked at how much less you ever get sick. And when you do, you bounce right back because you're strong, right? You're coming from a place of strength. This goes for everyone in the whole family. Digestion becomes an issue again, right? A lot of things can't be tolerated, or they're nausea, or sometimes people lose their appetite. We have oils for all of those things, and they're amazing how supportive they can be. Brain health, frankincense and copaiba, all right? Make a little roller ball of it on the brain stem every day. Brush your teeth, brain stem. Do that frankincense and copaiba. Twice a day, brain stem, okay? Huge, huge support. So easy. It just smells good. It just smells like a little bit of frankincense. It doesn't smell feminine. It doesn't smell masculine. It's not going to be at all. There's no florals in it. There's no trees like strong pine type trees. It's very, very subtle. It's a nice resin base, the frankincense, the scent. So it's very good for your skin. So you're not going to have issues on that front either. Emotional support, same thing. Have those rollerballs. Have them ready to go. Focus and brain health, you're going to get that totally from that frankincense and copaiba. And then your skin and personal care, we really want to be keeping all those toxins away. I mean, we've been bombarded with them for, at this point, 75 plus years. It's never too late to start. It's never too late. It's shocking how our bodies can really support, cleaning out those toxins. Supporting the liver and kidneys is hugely important. That zendocrine is going to come into play here, right? Really helping our bodies to detox with things like our citrus oils. Really, really important to keeping our strength and our health at its best through these years. Another tip I'll give you is you can order online, and I think they're amazing. There are like little silicone lids that go onto your roller balls, and now you can even get them that go onto your 15 mil or 5 mil oil bottles. Get some of those for the people in your life, or for yourself if you have arthritis or a grip issue of any sort, or just weaker hands at this point in time. Glue them on, because they will twist if they get a little oil up underneath of them. Glue them on, and makes it so you can grip the bottle lid and get it off so much easier. I love this as a tool. We use this with my father-in-law, who's had multiple strokes. He's doing great now, thanks to so many of the tools that we're talking about today. But he has gotten weaker, how that happens with strokes. He is a little weaker, and his grip is not as good. And especially with something so small, right? So we put the silicone lids on there for him. He loves it. He loves it. He also doesn't drop them as often, which is great. We don't want him dropping it and slipping or anything like that. So, okay. Tools for every single age, right? That's what we're talking about. Once you've got your top 10 oils. So if you don't know, if you didn't order this way when you first got started, gosh golly, for the life of me at this moment, I'm not going to remember the name of whatever the kit is today that's got the top 10 oils in it. It's just slipped right out of my head. If somebody can think of it, pop it in the chat for me, or just unmute. But we always have what's kind of like, basically there's 10 oils that are the top 10 oils that include things like digestion, frankincense, lemon. You've got your breathe in there. You've got, peppermint, all these great oils in there that you can use, that when in different combinations actually help to support 80% of health issues. That's enormous with 10 oils. Okay. Make sure you have those 10 oils, guys. So if you don't have them yet, you'll maybe get them slowly over time, like add that oregano in, even though you're like, why would I? Trust me, you always want to have oregano with you. Powerhouse for immunity, right? Especially with getting rid of bad stuff. Lifelong vitality supplements. Number one product that doTERRA does is our supplements. As crazy as it is, it's the truth. It's the thing that it just changes your life. It really, truly does. Like I said, my trajectory of where my health was going to where my health is now going is just a completely different reality. And I am so, so grateful for that. All the more excited to get my younger members of my family, keeping that path of health and wellness. Turmeric duo capsules and health support supplements, we're all familiar. We already did that class last week, right? With Miss, was that last week or the week before? I don't know. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. The nutrition and supplementation. Emotional support, have those emotional support oils on hand. Guess what? Some of those emotional support oils are also things that we use for other medical issues, such as, breathing, skin care, allergies, all of these different tools. So they don't have to fit in one category. They actually cross over into all categories. So adaptive, huge tool. Sleep support, right? Everyone's going to benefit from Serenity, vetiver, and lavender for sleep. Focus oils, right? Your focus oils, we have a blend called In Tune, which is a godsend. Healthy Start, thank you, Susan, for finding that. That is the kit, the Healthy Start kit with the 5 ml bottles of the top 10 kit. Perfect little kit to have at all times. You're going to be able to get through everything. And the home, it is, okay, see, there you go. Home Essentials is the 15 ml, okay, of the same oils, but in the larger 3 times as much size. So focus, yeah, you're going to want to have some. Now, rosemary is fantastic for focus. Peppermint is fantastic for focus. Wild orange is fantastic for focus. You don't necessarily have to get the super specialty blend, but man, things like In Tune are just wonderful. And again, I really, really like vetiver for focus as well. Brain health with that frankincense and copaiba. Skin and personal care without toxins. All of these things are tools that you're going to use that simply by, okay, like for the non-toxic cleaners and things we're going to talk about next week in non-toxic environment, first off, you're going to save a crap ton of money. Okay. Like that to me is the thing that blows my mind the most of all, is how much I don't buy anything in any of those aisles anymore. And I can make my cleaners for under $1 a piece, which kills me. I love it. But also I'm removing all of the toxins that I can possibly remove on my own. Obviously there's things that, you can't get around, but I can remove all of them from my household that I have the option to remove by not even bringing them in my house. And by doing so, I have removed issues from my family's life. Okay. I've removed respiratory issues. I've removed focus issues. I've removed, skin and health issues. I've removed brain health issues. I've removed, all of these issues by just simply not bringing in the stuff that's causing the problems to begin with, or that is exacerbating the problems to begin with, right? So really huge. I think it's like my favorite. If I were going to start anywhere, guys, that's where I would start. That's where there, and supplements is where you're going to see the hugest, like, whoa, that changed my life, right? And then don't just use your diffuser when company comes over. Use it all the time. Have them going all the time, all the time, all the time. Just never not going. I love my diffusers. Huge, huge support. So how to best set up your family. Get on that loyalty rewards program. I think all of you, I'm not sure if all of you guys are or not, but I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, I ain't doing that. Like, why would I, I don't know what I want every month ahead of time. Like, all of that confusion, right? Trust me, you save so much money and you get so many more points to buy other stuff for free. Do you know, I went into my mom's account today because I have access to my mom's account. Are you ready for this? You guys are going to be floored. So my mom, just being my mom, only listens partially to what I say, right? So in other words, like, she's like, yeah, I'll do LRP. I'll get these points. That'll be great. Well, apparently she doesn't use her points, right? I will order on her account every once in a while because it helps me with where I'm at on things. So it's my mom, so it's fine. So today I went to order the specials, the Citrus Bloom and the Midnight Forest. And I was like, oh, I'm going to put them on my mom's account. Helps her make a little paycheck too because she wasn't quite at her 100 PV. I look in there. Do you know she has over 1,000 points in her account? She can buy $1,000 worth of doTERRAs. 1,000. She has 1,080 points. I about fell off my chair. I was like, okay, clearly I need to call my mom and let her know that she needs to spend like a mad woman on these points. Because I mean, so obviously they accrue, right? They add up. Imagine being able to, I was just like, oh my goodness. It was awesome. Anyhow, definitely do loyalty. Can she buy me Rose? I know, Beverly, I am with you. Oh, that's such a good idea. I'll have to tell her, get the Rose. I mean to tell you, oh, it just cracked me up. I was like, shh. You know how moms are, right? Order through the wellness kits. The wellness kits, if you're not familiar, you can see a picture of one over here to the right. This is going to be the immunity wellness kit. So, and this is the one for month 3. These save so much money. They're bundled together, right? It'll come, it has all the tools that you need. There's something different in each of the 3 months, but it is the deepest savings for 2 reasons. First off, what you see in the picture here is at an enormous savings, but also you can do add-ons that you get a huge discount on. You can only do this through LRP. And I mean, if you're confused or you're just looking at it going, this is like, I need to have a flow chart to figure. No, you don't. Trust me. It's not as confusing as it sounds. Just reach out to your person and we will help you. We'll look at it and go, oh, you know what? Here's the best way to order that. This is going to save you the most money, get you the most points, get you the most benefits. We'll totally help you with that. We have learned the ropes on that stuff, right? Never stop learning. Come to the classes, get the books, actually use your book. If your book's sitting in the corner collecting dust, you are not making the most of your investment in your oils and you are not really making the impact that you're looking for. You'll be shocked at the things that you can find to treat and deal with, or even just for fun in your books, right? Listen to our podcast. Our podcast is called Living with Intention. There's a bunch of episodes about to dump over there, which is awesome excitement. I cannot wait. And keep coming to these classes. This is where you will learn the most is in these classes. Tomorrow night, we are doing what's in our LRP. So we're each going to share what do we keep in our LRP and why, and like how we figured out that savings, okay? And why do we do it the way we do it? Because we all kind of do it a little different and it's fun to kind of get that sneak peek, right? Like behind the curtain of what everyone else is doing over at their household. Have diffusers in your bedrooms and all around your house. Have rollerballs and spray bottles on hand, right? Empty ones that you can just quickly make something. Initially I was always buying 10 ml bottles because there's so many pretty ones out there. But nowadays I really have found that I really prefer to make 5 ml bottles of things because I'm not committing myself to so much of it. They're more portable. I can carry around way more in my purse, in my bag, in the kids' bags. It's just so easy. So those little 5 mils are fantastic. Be sure that you get a metal ball, not the plastic ball or even the glass balls. The metal balls don't seem to leak as often as others. Store your oils out in the open. Let everybody have access. I know if you have a rose, go ahead and hide that one. But otherwise, let people see what they are and have them. Like, I have them out in my kitchen. I have them out in our bedroom. I have them out in the hallway. I have them out in everywhere, in every room of my house. You come over, you'll see what I mean. But first off, it helps me to remember that, oh yeah, I can use all these in the kitchen to cook, or I can use all of these in the bathroom for my skin or my shower or whatever. But also it's just, it helps you to create those habits and change those habits in your life if you have access. Yes, Beverly, it's so smart to save up your points to get the rose. I'm not sure how much longer I can wait. I hear you. It is so amazing. It does last a very long time. Okay, I've had my rose for a year and a half. I just ran out on our trip. It's just, and I will be getting another one. I cannot tell you, I love it. I loved having it, knowing I had it and being able to use it and have it be a tool for us during that time, especially traveling, right? Replace all your cleaners and personal care products with things that are non-toxic. We're going to talk about that much more next week. Over-the-counter medications, make it easy. I love the idea. Some people will just throw away the ibuprofen, which is, where I live. But others will, I love the idea of putting stickers on your ibuprofen bottle that like have alternate, so the little lid stickers, you can get the little lid stickers. Remember Leslie showed us in the back office when you ordered like 75 cents. put on there a sticker for marjoram, lemongrass, copaiba, frankincense, whatever, so that when you go to grab it, because it's habit, you'd be shocked at what the habit is, especially when you have a headache or you're in pain. You go to grab that and then you go, oh yeah, wait, I have something else I can use, right? It really does help so much. So make it easy on everyone. Work with your health professionals and your wellness advocate to support any type of concerns that you might have regarding some medications that you might be on or protocols that you're already working on. See how these can fold in. These aren't two separate things, right? It's all about your health, and you need to have these things partnered together for them to all work for their best. And then be the example. Just be the example. And I mean, I fall on my face on this one every day. Like, I'm really good with my supplements. I'm really good with using my oils for everything, because and I make all my cleaners and everything. But like, I'm not so good with like my diet. I'm not good with my skincare. I need to work on so many things, and I'm working on them, but I've already made so much progress too. So it's not going to happen overnight. Even if you live, die, breathe, whatever, doTERRA, right? You're like, go doTERRA, whatever, like me. I'm still working on stuff. It's not easy to do overnight. So take it easy, go slow, or as fast as you want to go. But if you fall, don't worry. I mean, I've had times where I went off my supplements a couple years ago because I ran out and I was not home and could not get them. And it sucked. And I got back. I even kind of had a hard time getting back on them because I had to get back in that habit. But I made myself do it. And I relieved myself of the sort of like the guilt I had. I know that sounds silly, but I felt guilty that like I had dropped the ball so hard on that. But I got back on them and everything was fine. And the same is true if, like, one day you find yourself buying a bottle of ibuprofen. Hey, you'll have some ibuprofen and you'll go back to your oils, or you'll go back to your whatever it is. It's not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal. There's a zero judgment situation, but I know how that is. Like, we kind of feel like, like, oh no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just keep trying. As long as you keep trying, you're going to look back and go, wow, look how far I've come. There's going to be a point, and you're going to look back and go, I remember when my daughter refused to even be in a room when I had a diffuser going, and now she has one in her bedroom and 3 rollerballs in her backpack. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have those stories too. My dad literally like yelled at me when I started doing doTERRA because he thought I had joined a cult. Now the man has one of the best LRPs and oils everywhere, a diffuser in almost every room of his house, and he takes almost all the supplements. So trust me, people come a long way. Those people in your life that just you don't think will, they do. They come around because you are being an example, right? You are showing what it can be and how it works for you. And eventually they jump in on that. Dads, I know, right, Susan? I'm with you on that. So that is all we have for today. Are there any questions on anything? I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Oh, I need to press that. Stop share. Here we are. Here we are. Okay. Any questions on anything as far as we go? It's kind of, this class it's an easy one because it's really just about taking things to that next level of unlocking the needs of everyone else. It's so easy to kind of go to a class or a workshop or work with a friend about one health issue, either for yourself or one person in your family. And then it takes there's sort of like this little click that happens when you go, oh, wait a minute, this could be like a whole lifestyle. Like, I can actually change over so much and save money and actually be healthier in the process. And that's kind of what this class is that help to kind of, oh, all right, I have a lot of options here. Anything?
I was just going to say, I love how this class goes from like literally birth to as far as you want to go, right? And just really shows how the same tools can support everybody you know. It's such a great class.
Yeah, it's nice too, like digestin or lavender or whatever. It's like, okay, you might be diluting it differently, or you might be quality might be, you know what I mean? How you're using it different, but you're still just using that same 15 ml bottle of lavender that you got in your kit, or 5 ml bottle. The value to me of that bottle goes through the roof the more uses I know I have for it.
Exactly.
And so I really love that. I love these continued ed classes. They just unlock so much. But on that note, next week is Memorial Day. Am I right, Diana?
Is it next week already? It is. You're right. This is the last week of May.
Crazy.
How is that possible?
I honestly don't know. The slippery slope is like lubed up right now.
I know, it's crazy.
Flying. But nonetheless, we do not have a continued ed on Monday of next week. We will pick up with non-toxic living the following week, which will be that first week of June, that first Monday in June, right?
Sounds good.
Yeah, because 31st is Memorial Day. So yeah, thank you guys for coming. And I have Beverly down and Ala down. I'm so glad you girls made it out for us. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Come out and play with us tomorrow when we do the LRP. I'm excited for this. I've got some unboxing I get to do. Hurrah, hurrah. And I don't know why. Maybe I'm nosy, but I'm just always so curious. Like, well, what are you doing over there? Oh, how'd you do that? I'm going to order mine that way now. Like, because I didn't think of that. Like, don't you feel like we learn a lot that way? Like, I didn't even think of that.
And there are tips and tricks, right? Like there are now with the wellness kits and the LRP kits, there are ways to, I don't know, I guess conscientiously choose when and how you buy things that you use all the time so that you really get a great deal on them.
For sure, like today with the specials, because they are going to sell out. So if you're waiting on them, guys, grab them. I don't know if you know, but go to the Facebook group. You both are all, I think, plugged in, or ask your person, right? We've got a citrus bloom whole collection, and then this wonderful midnight forest oil and a beautiful black pilot diffuser. They're going to sell out, but this morning it's like, oh my gosh, rush on, order them, right? I ordered them, and then I was like, I need to add one more thing because I wanted to order them on LRP, so I got my points. You know how that is. And I was like, oh, I'll just get a nutrient, one of the nutrient packs, because gosh knows we're always going to go through those. Then later I'm chatting and somebody's like, oh, I got drink because it's 15% off this month. And I was just like, well, duh, that was like so the smartest thing. I should have done that, so I love that. Right. Like, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Somebody's always going to do it smarter. So we can all share our ideas and figure it out for ourselves tomorrow and learn. I'm excited to unlock some of the tips and stuff. Also just to see like, oh, wow, you get that every month, things like that. Like we get a toothpaste every month. But I have a lot of people and a lot of teeth in our family. We finally got it to a point where I didn't have to order 3 or 4 at a time every 3 or 4 months. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I've gotten the tubes of toothpaste in a rotation situation where now somebody's going to run out. In fact, it's the littles, right? The littles the Oscar and Annabelle, they share a tube of toothpaste. They're going to run out. And so there's this, in the thing. So it just kind of works out nicely that way for our family. But I don't think most people do a tube a month. Or they order a bunch of me. You also?
Yeah, for the same reason, right? We go through a lot of toothpaste.
Oh, and we also have the same size family.
Yeah, exactly. But
there was a time when I would order them all at once, and then I do something different. Like with my points, I like to order the not fun stuff because I don't like to pay money for not fun stuff. So in other words, toothpaste, deodorant, hand soap, hand sanitizers. You know what I mean? I'm like, the laundry, the cleaning concentrate, which are all awesome, by the way. But like, I don't want to spend $100 on that. I want to spend $100 on like frankincense and blah, blah, blah. So I use my points for all of our toiletry type things, right? I don't know. So we're all a little different. So come play with us tomorrow and we will share even more of that. Wednesday, we have Q&A. So if you have questions, send them our way. I know how it is. You finish a class and you're walking around and an hour later you go, oh yeah, I wonder about that. Well, message one of us, all right? Ask us and we will put it in our Q&A. Obviously, we'll answer you directly, but they are all private. We never share who it is who's asking the questions, just so you know. All right. Well, with that, have a lovely evening, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow at 5:30, right? Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you, guys.